Hello, my name is Chris Oliver, and I'm running for state representative in District 16. I haven't been a lifelong Floridian, but I love Jacksonville. And I come from a missionary parent background. I spent the majority of my childhood overseas, helping others and building churches and schools. And I came back to the States after suffering some pretty severe losses. I lost my father when I was 14 and my mother when I was 16. And I took responsibility for my little brother, and I was emancipated and ended up getting my GED and going into the Navy. And overall, in the last 14 years, I spent my time serving this country, and I did 2 combat tours. On top of that, I'm also a former business owner, and I saw the regulation here in the state of Florida, while it's been getting better under the governor, it's still not where it needs to be. And I see that in order for us to recover, we need to be able to help small business and help streamline the interaction in between the government and the citizens and small businesses. And I believe the best way that we can do that is to take the control away from the House and return it back to the people, to restore the United States back to the Constitution and how we were founded. And that is why I'd like to be your next state representative. Thank you.
Do you favor or oppose implementing the Convention of States Amendment, and why?
I would support the amendment for the Convention of the States. The main reason behind that is generally legislators have an adverse reaction to voting for anything that could, go against their own best interests. And by returning the power back to the people and to be able to impose such things on Congress, such as term limits, they're not going to vote this in themselves, and we have to return it back to the people. And that is a very, very sound and solid idea on how we can get back to that.
Do you support or oppose providing non-life-threatening aid to illegal immigrants funded by taxes and fees imposed on Floridians?
In general, I'm adamantly opposed to spending any of our hard-earned money that goes back into the government on non-citizens and non-legal residents of the United States. The non-life-threatening aid usually comes in a lot of different forms, and we need to hold Congress accountable and need to hold the executive branch accountable for their actions and making sure that our tax dollars go to where they're supposed to be, back to the people.
The right to life issue is being fought in state legislatures across the country. What is your position on this issue?
Myself, my wife, my entire family, we believed in the sanctity of life and believe that people should bring their children into the world and have a level of self-accountability. And anything that I can do in the legislature to help promote that and to make sure that we preserve life, anything that I could do to help on that, I'd like to be involved.
Where do you stand on Common Core curriculum and the issue of data mining over 400 data points on our children and the loss of privacy on this data?
I'd like the premise behind the Common Core, but it's a horrible, horrible program as it's implemented, and the data mining that comes in is atrocious, and it's just another overbearing step by, it ends up being private corporations who are taking this information on our children. And until there's some other viable option, I adamantly oppose Common Core.
There are numerous records and reports of American history rewritten in Florida textbooks. Have you reviewed these examples, and what will you do to ensure the accuracy of the historical text?
I have not reviewed every example, but I've reviewed a few examples on how history is being rewritten by the people who don't want to recognize American exceptionalism. And again, there's only so much that can be done unless the citizens become back and become more active inside. And as a member of the legislature, I would work on holding the executive branch accountable and put forth legislation that would require additional steps to safeguard our history.
Thank you, Mr. Oliver. Do you have any closing remarks?
Well, first of all, thank you for taking the time and getting to learn a little bit more about me. I invite you to go by my website, www.vote4oliver.com, and see exactly what I want to do and how I intend to actually get there. I've always been a fighter and always wanted to make sure that the people who can't defend themselves have a voice and restore America back to the constitutional principles that we were founded on. Thank you so much.